Off of turn 4, the pace car pulls in, and we are ready to go green for this Coca-Cola 600 as Alex Bowman, Kevin Harvick lead the field to the green for 160 laps around this Charlotte Motor Speedway. 40-40 your first two stages and 80 laps for the third and final stage. Day, a track we look forward to here on the schedule, the big crown jewel here in the Coca-Cola 600, but we really got to watch out here on this opening start here as we're going to see some three-wide racing right off the bat, and there could be a lot of potential for a pretty large accident here in these opening moments.
Three wide, as usual, on NR2003 is going to be the area to look for a lot of chaos this week. So that's going to be the same thing to happen this time around. And you're seeing in the background, there's already some three wide going on with Christopher Bell there. Ryan Blaney, I think that might be Tyler Reddick on the outside as well. They got it settled out, though, off turn 4. The big momentum side is going to be up on the high side in these early parts of the restarts. But as soon as you get further into a run, or if you're up on that outside lane, you're going to be in a huge disadvantage. And for Chastain right now, he has climbed his way up to only 38 points outside the playoffs, just under a full race right now. So Chastain, Alex Bowman's going to get turned by Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell actually gets turned himself anyways. Only one who gets turned out of this incident. One car wrecked Christopher Bell hard to the inside wall. We'll have to wait and see if a caution is out. It is. So the first caution of the day comes at lap 7 at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Under caution on the pit lane, Chase Elliott runs into issues and runs into the back of the 11 of Denny Hamlin and actually gets stuck here in his pit stall. Looks like he stalls out that Napa Auto Parts number 9 car, and it all goes downhill as Elliott would spend a prolonged amount of time on the pit lane there as you nearly see him end the career of one of his members as well. Has had a lot more overall speed this season. You see the 45 of Kurt Busch and the 8 of Reddick way up the track right there as they exit turn 2, and in the background looks like we might have another slower car. Might be Cody Ware a little bit off the pace there. Now you can see a big just train of cars, and all of a sudden here comes Chase Elliott back into the mix of that, but obviously Elliott one lap down right now, so he's going to need a lot of fortune on his side to get somehow back up into the mix here.
Run this these last couple of races, and once again here in Charlotte, he looks like he has another very fast car in the long run. They're going to go three wide also for third place right here. Kyle Larson on the inside. He's been making up spots as well. Denny Hamlin now starting to fall down the order. Has been able to hold his own so far up on the high side, but still not able to make any kind of passing happen. Larson's going to squeeze him a little bit here as we head into turn 4 for the final time. Truex might look to try and sneak a couple of spots away here. He does. Truex is going to gain a couple of positions out of this and do a masterful job of getting past both Hemrick and Denny Hamlin, who Denny Hamlin, at the end of that stage, looked like he was off the pace massively compared to what he was to start it.
Joey Logano. Yes, Joey Logano is just coming out of the pits right now. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. You also see Corey LaJoie coming in, and that's it.
Logano,
so maybe they couldn't make it. They maybe felt.
Yeah, Logano probably couldn't make it.
Pace car is off. We're ready to go green here once again in stage 2. For the first time in stage 2, I should clarify here as we are officially underway. Ryan Blaney will lead the field down into turn 1. Logano a lap down is already causing issues there, Jay. We see Ryan Blaney go to the lead. Well, he's already going to lose it.
And that's a teammate as well. Joey Logano just completely blocked Ryan Blaney, made him lose the lead of this race. Kevin Harvick goes back to the lead of this race, but now Truex is going to take him 3 wide. No, he's still there. He's still there 3 wide. So Truex is also making the move as well, showing the speed early on in the run this time. 3 wide right behind him. Joey Logano up on the outside of lap car, still making his presence known, still being a little bit of a menace to all these guys. But he just caused his teammate, Gary, Ryan Blaney, to lose the lead of this race right off the restart and has now got to fight side by side with Daniel Hemrick.
And Hamrick up the inside, bringing his colleague teammate of Justin Haley into the mix as well. Colleague has certainly found something. They've only shown, incredible speed one time this season. That was at Coda, and we saw, the winner of that race, of course, go to Justin Haley would come out on top of that one. You see Logano all the way up on the outside, now out of the way, but Martin Truex Jr. to the lead, Greg Biffle as well in the mix of things. But you see, look at this big space here between, Byron and Suarez, all the way back to that number 17. It's weird, Jay, where we've seen tonight, so far under the lights here, that there's some select cars in this grid that seem to be really off the pace and, of course, losing time, as we also see some damage on the side of that 24. But there's certainly some cars on this grid that are quite notably off the pace tonight. And Chris Buescher in that number 17 machine, as you see Chase Elliott just surviving at this point. A couple cars all the way up here towards the outside. Well, I think I think they're coming into the pit lane is what's happening here. So green flag pit stops with less than 10 laps to go in the stage. Truex and Hamlin, they remained on the track along with pretty much everybody up inside the top 10. But now, Jay, stage points on the line here, and they're only going to have about 6-7 laps to run right here. So this is going to be really important pit cycle, and of course hoping for no cautions if you're staying out a little bit longer. Bowman, what a save in the number 48 machine. That was a teammate and a lap down teammate.
Alex Bowman made a fantastic save right there. I saw that kind of setting up. I was looking at Bowman to see if he was going to pit or not because I was going to mention him staying out another lap is probably a big mistake for that 48. And then the biggest mistake was almost going to be getting turned by his teammate, but he made a fantastic save. And now trying to get set up, I think, to go to the pit lane maybe right here. If he stays out any longer, that's going to be a huge mistake for that 48 and for that 5 of Kyle Larson as well.
Denny Hamlin
stays out another lap. And
they
so
all
does Bowman,
do.
Larson, and Blaney. That's interesting, Gary. That's going to put them, I think, quite a ways behind everybody who just pitted.
And did I just see the caution lights on? I do. The caution lights are on. The caution is out in Charlotte. The pace car is on the track, and we have a yellow flag. Here's why we're under caution. Brad Keselowski does that. He hit the pit lane wall head on. So getting ready to go back green this time by, and what's only going to be a 1-lap dash to determine your stage 2 finish. Justin Haley now leads over second place of Kyle Larson, then Blaney, and then Alex Bowman, Cole Custer as well in the top 5. As you see, though, all of these cars right here right now are on the lead lap currently. They need to hold on for 1 lap here as they head down into turn 1. Jay, if you're Haley, you're trying to pass as many cars as you can right here on this 1-lap sprint.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to look to do. But so far, not really even looking to pass anybody right now. Austin Cindric might be the first one that he could get by if it stays on the outside, which he will. So Justin Haley might be able to get 1 or 2 cars right here who are on the outside lane, but everybody else should hopefully be able to get themselves back around behind our lead lap group as they come off turn 4 for the final time here in stage number 2. Justin Haley is going to get his first stage win of the season, I believe.
And at the line, Cindric holds on, but what will happen, is, of course, is the big question from this point on. Haley wins the stage, and Ryan Blaney is now your stage leader, race leader. Harvick and Suarez, the last 2 cars on the lead lap, trying to hold on to the lead lap. And then second place is now Alex Bowman. Third place is Justin Haley, Kyle Larson, Reddick, rounding out the top 5. As you can see the leaderboard on the top left of your screen to help with the confusion of seeing, of course, lap cars in the mix with lead lap cars as we're back underway for the start of this third and final stage. Today, that caution with Keselowski is really throwing a curveball into the mix of this race, and suddenly Ryan Blaney is in the perfect position to, of course, capitalize on it. But here comes Alex Bowman already passing Haley up into second place, or actually he was already ahead of Haley, sorry, but nonetheless still closing in quickly on the back of that number 12.
Couple lap down cars that are in the way, like Daniel Suarez now actually kind of being in the way of Ryan Blaney, has allowed Alex Bowman to make a move for the lead. They're side by side heading down into turn number 1. Alex Bowman has turned it up in this race all of a sudden, Gary. He was down just finding just to be inside the top 20 earlier in this race, and now he's moving for the lead on our leader of Ryan Blaney. So he just got incredibly quick all of a sudden, and he's doing the best of the Hendrick cars. Early we saw that it was Kyle Larson with a bunch of speed for Hendrick. Now it's Alex Bowman, and he might even take the lead from Ryan Blaney away right here.
Out of turn 4, still side by side. You can see that number 12 definitely has competitive speed because Blaney is able to hold his own on the outside. They continue side by side down into turn 1. This time, though, Blaney is going to be cleared by that number 48. While we were gone, we genuinely had a caution come out on the track and could not find the reason for the caution. We have no idea what has caused it, looking at both ends of the track and around the same area of the caution flying, and we did not see anything bring out a caution. No car stopped, no car went around. Everybody was acting accordingly.
Now Ryan Blaney, he's going to take it side by side with Alex Bowman. We've seen these two fighting side by side for the lead several times in the last handful, 20 or so laps. This time around, if they stay side by side again when they catch Ryan Preece, somebody's going to wind up getting the worst end of that deal and really lose a bunch of spots and a bunch of time here.
And Blaney to the point here in Charlotte, bringing Kevin Harvick, who's not for position with him. Kyle Larson, though, on the other hand, is going to be for position now in that number 5 Hendrick cars, or Auto.com, whatever the heck it's called now.
Yeah, he has been running pretty well so far for not having a back bumper, but right there, he almost put Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the outside wall. That was extreme. Oh, they're going to get turned. There goes Hammer getting turned right in front
bunch of drivers
on the front straightaway. Huge group of cars involved in this. Look out for the cars coming.
Logano.
Jr., Kyle Busch. Logano up and over. That's a huge crash out of nowhere, Gary.
And the pace car goes through him. Oh, and Austin Dillon. Oh, and Cindric, who was having a good day as well. The big one strikes in the Coca-Cola 600, and you see that's going to be the end of the day for Austin Dillon. Here's another look at as William Byron is going to turn the 16 of Emmerich across the nose of Stenos, and of course collect multiple others as well. And Logano is going to go for a ride, and a big one strikes Jay. An unlikely track to see a big accident like that, but boy, was that large. And then of course we saw other cars come piling in, like Austin Dillon running into the side of the 22, and the 2 car collected as well. And immediately to the inside, bringing Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman with him, and Jay again. There we see another car lacking pace, a couple cars lacking pace. It's both the 14 and the 2. They have a severe lack of pace in those cars.
I believe both of those cars were just involved in our previous accident. Cedric turn. That's going to be another big crash down the back straightaway. Kurt Busch involved. Tyler Reddick this time involved big. Tyler Reddick gets a huge hit. Kurt Busch, another one of our drivers struggling. Our points leader, Tyler Reddick, also involved. Caution is out once again in Charlotte with just under, or right at, 40 laps to go.
Here's the look as you're going to see the 45 with a huge run on the outside. Cindric with a lack of speed. He gets hooked by the number 45. And Jay, I mean, it's just chaos from that point on. A bunch of drivers in. The points leader as well, wiped right on out of this race. Going green once again in Charlotte as Ryan Blaney tries to hold off Kyle Larson, as well as Alex Bowman, Denny Hamlin, Ross Chastain, Custer all up inside the top 10. Oh my god, we got a wreck on the restart. They're wrecking on the restart, and the caution's going to fly immediately. What has happened? The 42 of Ty Dillon has gone around before we've even head down into turn 1. Here's what happened on the restart. The 38 of Gilliland moving very fast. Well, Ty Dillon doesn't see it coming. He goes to the outside and just gets straight up turned into the outside wall, and around he goes, and the caution flies.
So for now is that we're kind of getting strung out already because there's so few cars remaining. The big thing to watch for is if those lap cars catch us, and Denny Hamlin has all of a sudden just made a pass for the lead on Ryan Blaney. So Denny Hamlin, he is shown to have some really good short run speed. We're going to have to wait and see, Gary, if that 11 car can take it over to the long run speed now.
We've seen Denny Hamlin in position to win a couple of races this season, and he's been robbed of a victory so far once this season. Could tonight, under the lights here in Charlotte, finally change his luck now as Hamlin leads the way suddenly with less than 30 laps remaining.
And this time around, and Hamlin actually handles it pretty well once again. So Denny Hamlin's done a fantastic job so far of handling the lap cars. Ryan Blaney, on the other hand, has really not. And this time around, kind of the same thing. Hamlin did get held up a little bit, but Ryan Blaney looks like he might get held up even more so than Denny Hamlin this time. Still getting held up, actually. Just over a lap and a half to go at this point, Gary.
Where's Kyle Larson? Kyle Larson's in the pits. Kyle Larson can't make it. Coming to the final lap, Larson, Custer.
Can everybody make it then? There's a lot of people pitting. Wow.
In the closing moments, coming to the final lap.
Pitting.
He's done this before. And no, he stays out. Hamlin stays out. Blaney stays out. That's how Hamlin lost the race earlier this season, was because he had to pit literally with a few laps remaining in the race. But final lap is underway, and it looks like Hamlin will make it. But you can see, certainly, of course, Kyle Larson and some others cannot make it there, and they're going to give up some track position. You see Larson exiting now, and Hamlin through 3 and 4, just hoping, of course, at this point that you don't run out of fuel if you're that FedEx Toyota Camry. And Denny Hamlin, sure enough, is going to hang on out of turn 4 for the first time this season. Denny Hamlin will win the Coca-Cola 600, lock himself into the playoffs as Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman, Kyle Busch, and Martin Truex Jr. will finish in the top 5. And Kyle Larson, even with those issues there with fuel, he's still going to come home with an 11th place finish, but obviously not the top 10 or even top 5 that he was originally lined up for. Jay, what a race we just had here in the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We see right at the end a little bit of fuel strategy hurt some drivers, make some gains for a guy like Harvick, who ends up getting a nice top 10 out of that. But overall, I mean, third stage was filled with chaos, and at the end of the day, Denny Hamlin, for the first time this year, finally comes through, breaks that winless drought, and ends up in victory lane.
And with that chaos happening, Gary, what it did was help out a lot of our drivers that needed to have good races.